Well, I mean, we certainly see the commoditization of a technology like databases, sort of is about making it simple enough that anyone can use it and deploy it and get value out of it. And so there's a certain class of applications which should treat the database as look, it's just a thing, and I should just be able to use it and not necessarily understand it very deeply and get value out of it and sort of be done with it. And we see even in our own on-premise deployments of SQL Server, there's a class of applications out there that are kind of like that. And that's great. We're really happy to see that, right? Because you're still getting that power of that relational model. This is different than the McLarens using file stream and the high end. They're getting 5 terabytes of data per race per car, right? Or some of the high end spatial stuff we've seen where they're really extracting and getting incredible value out of the bleeding edge database thing. So there's definitely a spectrum there, and what the trends we're seeing in the enterprise are, regardless of that spectrum. They want better efficiency, they want better utilization, they want better control, they want better ability to do regulatory compliance and security and these kinds of things. The things that, there's a part of IT that doesn't care what the app does, just how it does it, right? And that it stays within the guidelines of what it means for them to run their business and operate their business in all the appropriate ways policy-wise. So we're seeing this effort around consolidation and around getting their hands around efficiency in these things in the enterprise. Interestingly, at the same time, we're also seeing an advent for a need for, look, just give me a moniker to connect to, and I don't care. I don't need to run this thing myself. I just want a database somewhere out there and just use it. So our database as a service that we announced a few weeks ago or a couple months ago, is really about offering a database. Plain old, just a database, just a plain old database. You connect to it, there's tables, there's columns, there's triggers, etc. You get to program to it in the ways that are familiar. And we're at the same time, we also, in the fall, announced as part of Kilimanjaro, some efforts beginning our sort of database utility plans and what our vision there is, and some deployment tools and some managing at scale tools and these kinds of things. And they both satisfy sort of very similar needs, which is there's a class of apps that what we call needs self-service, right? Where a developer has a need, some department, someone somewhere says, I need this capability. They want to go somewhere and just get it for them and not be involved in all the machinery behind the scenes, whether it's on-premise, whether it's in the cloud.
They don't actually care, just as long as it works.
As long as it works, exactly right. And our responsibility to that is making sure that we have consistency and really making sure that database as a service is as big but a subset, as big a subset as it can be, but a subset of what the packaged product is. So you can put Visual Studio in a mode that says, I want most compatibility, and at the end you get a database package you can deploy to the cloud, you can deploy to a utility that's being managed by an IT department, you can deploy into your desk. And it shouldn't matter.
It should work the same all the way. It's really a compelling part of this is not making the cloud offering an isolated approach, but saying it's just part of a larger whole. You need to move, we can just move you.
That's right. And I think different customers will choose to do different things. We have customers that have a broad range of thousands of applications running on SQL, and it's everything from something that runs their day-to-day business. I have a customer who has a major CRM application that if that thing goes down for a day, they can run their business.
The business stops.
Just stops. I mean, just stops. Literally, like truck stop moving, like the whole thing just ends. And that same company has applications which manage little employee things, like the locker reservations or stuff like that, right? And that's a different class, So where in that spectrum, companies will choose to take things and, offer provisioning through the cloud, or whether they'll do this in a hosted utility, where they'll continue to build dedicated systems. This is a spectrum. And for us, we want to provide flexibility and the freedom for a lot of companies to make those choices.
Quentin, thanks so much for coming to talk to us.
Well, thank you very much. Nice talking to you. Thank you.